What's going on, guys? Liverpool's first preseason game against Real Betis. There's not really much more you can ask as the first game. I guess it's still not an official game of the Arne Slot era, but there's a lot of good things. There were some good things. There were some bad things. There were some kind of on the fence kind of things, and some things and players, I'm sure, that surprised you guys, which I think may be the reasoning behind some of the influence and some of the decisions behind our current transfer window. And I want to talk about that a little bit, give a little bit of a game breakdown and a little bit of, oh, okay, this makes sense now that we've seen the team play with the players that are now available, right? So to start it off, let's start it off on a good note. The good. Sepp Vandenberg is a very good player. I know I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know it's preseason. I know everyone's going to be saying it's preseason. Roman, it is preseason. We still need to make signings. These players aren't good enough. We can't judge if they're fit to be in an LFC shirt off of a preseason game played in Pittsburgh. I get that. But I just started doing a little bit digging, and I knew some of these stats, but I started to kind of really think about what these stats really meant for Sepp Vandenberg. I mean, he was clocked as one of the fastest players in all of the Bundesliga last season. He won the durability and stamina test until Mohamed Salah showed back up at camp for Arne Slot when they first came in. And he's the highest rated center back, or was the highest rated center back in all of the Bundesliga last season. There has to be some value there in a player like that. And to let a player that has that in his locker, that has that resume, and that's bringing that into a season, actually kind of sounds kind of dumb if you were a football club. Like, could you imagine a team that needs a center back, has one come back from loan who just essentially on paper was the best center back in all of the German league, was one of the fastest players in all of the German league, and then is also one of the most fit players that you currently have. And you're selling him to go buy someone else. I don't know. I think you give that player a chance, and I think you give him some time to impress you, even though I think he's already impressive. He carries himself very similar to VVD. He's filled out a whole ton. He's not a kid anymore, and he's still very young. Tyler Morton also impressed me a whole ton this match. Didn't do anything special, but was very calm and assured on the ball. And I don't even think he misplaced a pass since when he came on. Him with Bajcetic in the midfield, and then him with Trey Nyoni for a little bit, and we'll talk about him in a sec, I promise, was very, very good to see and very good to watch. And it seems like they fit Arne's style of play a lot better than they maybe did with Jurgen Klopp. And a lot of these players look like that's going to be the case as well. Connor Bradley is continuing to be Connor Bradley, and I'm very, very happy about that. He was fantastic today, and honestly could have competed for that Man of the Match award that Trey Nyoni ended up getting, because I think he was one of the better players on the field, if not the best player on the field. Some of the runs that he was making, the combination plays with Mohamed Salah, drifting infield and playing centrally at times, and that formation, we'll talk about that formation, was actually kind of crazy. The shifting and the changing, playing with two number 10s pretty much and two wingers. I think we're in for a ride with Arne Slot. And I don't think we've seen a manager like this for Liverpool in a very long time, or maybe if ever, who tactically is playing with the formation in possession, but out of possession. And I'll talk about that too, and I'm really excited about that. Out of possession, pressing like absolute animals. But let's keep going on the good. Dominik Szoboszlai. Everybody knows, if you've watched this channel, you know I'm a Dominik Szoboszlai fanboy. You know that's my guy. And the fact that he was able to play in an advanced role, the role that he played in Leipzig, and get a goal, one of the better strikers of the ball in the Premier League, in my personal opinion, if not one of the top five strikers of the ball in the entire world. When he gets space and time to unleash with that right foot, it's very hard for him to be stopped. And I really love the fact that Arne Slot sees that, and he's very one-on-one and is very talkative with these players, especially Sabo in this game. You know, during those water breaks, he was in Sabo's ear right away, telling him what he wanted, telling him what he needed to change. And right after that, he bags the goal, which I absolutely love. The pressing. The pressing was amazing. Dare I say it was more intense than Jurgen Klopp's pressing, which is kind of crazy to even say. They were pressing like animals. And it was almost a little unorganized at times, but they were pressing like mad dogs. And I loved it. They gave Betis no time on the ball. No time. As soon as they lost the ball, they Slot would send 2, 3, 4, 5 players after the ball to get it back. Was some of the passing a little bit iffy? That's what we'll talk about in the kind of not so sure, right? Some of the passing and the passing out the back was a little bit iffy. But as soon as they lost the ball, there was 4 or 5 guys there trying to get it back and immediately start playing tiki-taka. As soon as they got it back, boom, 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 pass, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes. I mean, I think at one point we had 70% possession at one time, which is not something that's super normal for a Liverpool squad, the Liverpool team, at least a Jurgen Klopp side, who is more of like a counterattacking kind of football, right? Gegenpressing, winning the ball back and immediately ramming it down the opposition's throat. Where in slot ball, he wants everyone to take touches and play beautifully, which I think will bode well in the modern style of play and play into a lot of our player strengths, right? Other things in the not so sure, players in the not so sure category. Mo Salah, I know he set up the goal, but he didn't all the way look comfortable with the dogged pressing, which we know that he's really good at, and he's been able to do that with Jurgen Klopp. But I think the pressing was a little bit too intense for him, and I don't know if he's up for that type of hard work under Arne Slot, right? And he didn't look 100% comfortable on that right wing. I saw him switch and swap from the left wing to the right wing, kind of play in the middle a little bit. So it'll be really interesting if he can adapt to it. I don't think that's something that may be a huge issue moving forward because Salah is elite. He can play in any system and score goals and get assists. That's obvious as shown in this game. But at his age, does he want to continue to do that? That's the question, right? Endo is another one of those players that he looked good in moments, and he played some really good line breaking balls, which is something that I think was missing from the Jurgen Klopp era, is forward passing, which I'll add to the good category. There was a lot of good forward passes in the game, and Endo contributed to that. The only thing that worried me the most about Endo is the passing out of the back and some of the mistakes that he kind of made in terms of the technical side of the ball, right? Like, he's good technically sometimes, and then sometimes it's like, damn it, we should have someone that's a little bit more skilled in there, right? But hey, that's why I kind of put it in the I kind of don't know category. Carvalho, Fabio Carvalho, he was good, but could have been much better. You could tell he doesn't look all the way sharp. He doesn't look all the way comfortable in the system. But I think he has the opportunity to thrive in this system. I think he just needs some more time. But unfortunately, I don't know if he even has that time to kind of bed in, right? Now let's talk about the bad. The bad. Elliott and Jones. Harvey Elliott didn't have a good game today. Harvey Elliott never looked comfortable in the middle playing as a second 10 with Dominik Szoboszlai. He would drift out wide a lot and to the left-hand side, which he really doesn't do. Misplaced a handful of passes, but I think it'll get better. I'm hoping it'll get better. And then, of course, the second bad, and there's not very many bads in this, and I'm being nitpicky here, is Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones went off injured in that first 30 minutes, and he looked good in the first 30 minutes, honestly. The style of play, I think, benefits him. But my worry is, will he stay fit for this season? Will he stay fit for this season? I think he has all the ability, and I think the playing style plays into all of his strengths. But does he have the fitness to stay in the starting 11? And will that force Arne Slot to make a midfield addition? I guess we will have to see, won't we? We will have to see. My surprises, Trey Nyoni. Trey Nyoni was absolutely amazing for me today. I know it's preseason, guys. You don't got to keep reminding me it's preseason. But Trey Nyoni for me looks like baby Pogba. So composed on the ball. Can't take it off of him. He's big, actually, for his age. He's 17 years old. Just turned 17. And he looks the part. He's only going to get bigger. He's only going to pull on more muscle. He may grow a couple more inches, and he's technically really good. And I don't even think he put a pass wrong today. Played some really good line-breaking passes, set that goal up. The pass before the pass, I like it. And I hope that he stays in the first team. And I hope if we do add a midfield addition, it doesn't eat into his minutes. Which brings me to my final point. Do Liverpool need to make signings after what you guys seen today? I know it's preseason, I know. But after the talent that you've seen today with Morton, Vandenberg, Fabio Carvalho, who didn't have an amazing game, but he's there, right? Gravenberch isn't even back yet. Dominik Szoboszlai is in the mix. Elliott is in the mix. Do you think we need those additions? Ben Doak looked good when he came on, looked sharp and threatening. Do we need another right wing? Do we need another midfielder? Do we need another center back when we have these players that I feel like could just use that push? And I think the change in management is also going to be a benefit for these players that could help them take the next step and go to the next level. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I loved that match. I would give it a 7 rating for Arne Slot in his first game, but it's looking promising. I love the play, love the past, fluid in movements, but I love even more how animalistic they are in the press. I loved that press. And it was a preseason game. It was a preseason game, and they were pressing like it was a league match, but didn't look like they were pressing like it was a league match. You know, the facial expressions were just like, oh, we're chilling. So I think maybe we have a couple more levels when it's a serious game in terms of pressing intensity. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for the Slot era. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys comment below. Subscribe, share it with some friends. Let's continue to grow this community. Everyone who has decided to subscribe since that last video that I put out, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Unconformed family. And stay tuned for more Liverpool content coming this week, man. We're going to keep bringing them. And as long as you guys continue to love it, I'll keep making this content and giving my thoughts on this amazing team that we all love. So see you guys on the next one. Peace. Boom.